What's up, everybody? This is Matt Okel with VYPE Media, and we got a very special guest here in the Coach's Corner. We got Coach Stephen Basore. We're kind of extending our range. I usually cover Houston sports, but now I'm still covering Houston, but it's always nice to veer over towards the west side when we go to San Antonio. So he is the head coach at Brennan High, and they're coming off a really great win against Sotomayor, or I should say Smithson Valley, my mistake. But tell me that they're preparing for Sotomayor. So the beginning of this season, y'all faced a very tough Reagan team, and then proceeded to defeat the Smithson Valley last week, and you got the rest of the schedule starting to play out. You got district coming up. So tell me, what's been your take on the way this team has begun this fall season, and what do you hope to see as they move forward and progress?
Right. Well, obviously the first game of the year is always, kind of an unknown because it's a new season, new team on both sides of the ball. So, new Reagan team, new Brennan team, that kind of a thing. But obviously they're a super quality program. We knew it was going to be a huge challenge. And, at the end of the day, we just made some really critical mistakes and good teams capitalized on, which Reagan did. And really that was the difference in the game. And so we needed to try to, learn from those mistakes and eliminate them if we're going to be successful. And like I said, we turned around and played Smithson Valley next week, who is a super quality team and highly well coached and so on and so forth. So that was a big challenge for us, but it's easier to learn from a loss than a win. And as much as I would rather learn from a win than a loss, I think the kids really got the message of, hey, we got to improve this. We got to make sure of that, so on and so forth. And they really applied all those things against Smithson Valley. And again, that was a huge challenge. I told them, we're going to have to play as close to perfect as we can. And fortunately, we did to a large degree. Still there were mistakes in there, but at least they weren't, mistakes for scores, so on and so forth. And when our back was against the wall, we were able to, kind of stand up and pull out a victory, which was really huge for our team, showed a lot of resiliency and bounce back, and it's a great way to respond to a loss. And, again, Reagan's going to be a top 5 team in the city. Smithson Valley is going to be a top 5 team in the city. So you really kind of test your mettle of where you're at, where you need to be. And at the end of the day, like I was mentioning, it's kind of like playing playoff games early in the season against those guys. And that tells you, hey, this is where we're at now. We kind of went 1-1 against two playoff teams. And, to advance the playoffs, you got to go 2-0. So, playoffs are win or go home. So it's good to learn these lessons early against those two great teams. And that makes us better, starting district this week, as you mentioned, against Sotomayor. And so hopefully we've cleaned up and learned a lot in these 2 weeks. And now we can continue to apply our best product and put our best product and take our best step forward to, hopefully winning this week against Sotomayor, starting district 1-0. And of course, our goal is to go 1-0 the rest of the season, win district, get the top seed in the playoffs, and then, kind of roll from there. But those two, games, again, are playoff caliber teams, playoff caliber environment. And I think that's going to pay dividends for us down the road when we actually get in the playoffs and it becomes elimination games, et cetera.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I think it's a lot more beneficial for your players if they play up against competition to begin the year. Plus, like you said, it gives them a feel, gets you some perspective whenever it comes to what needs to be improved prior to district. For instance, Houston area, North Shore is always huge. They played South Oak Cliff to begin the year, and it was a very one-sided win for North Shore. And then next week, South Oak Cliff played Duncanville, so they really wanted to throw their kids through the ringer before the year started. But yeah, Smithson Valley, they were in the state championship game, if I'm not mistaken, last year. So, I mean, that's fantastic to get that kind of level of competition to gauge the talent level. So you told me, so this program started in 2010. Have you been there since the beginning?
Yeah. I was the first head coach hired or whatever. And so this is, like I said, our 15th season, 15th year being open. And it's been a great journey, and we've had some decent success and so on and so forth. But every year's a new year, and every team's a new team, and we want to embrace the success and tradition of the past. But at the end of the day, these guys got to go out and earn it like all those other teams did. Again, we want to put our best foot forward and put the best product out there. And we got to use every week as a stepping stone to get better and build that up, week in and week out towards the end of the season, so we can hit the playoffs as good as we can possibly be, and then let the chips fall where they may. But hopefully we get a chance to play some of the teams you mentioned, because, North Shore is a big school. We're in the big bracket. So, Lake Travis will be in our future. And if we get through them, North Shore could be in our future as well. So we got to get ready for those teams. And I think our preseason schedule helps us prepare for, some of the best in Texas, with these teams that we mentioned.
For sure, for sure. So in the 15 years you've helped to build this program up, what do you think is the culture you've tried to instill and emphasize with each new group of kids that come into it?
Right. I mean, we want to establish a certain standard every year. And so, I always tell people our team goals don't change. We're always regimented in the same mindset every single season, right? Like I said, every year is different. Every team's new. But we do want to build on tradition and success of the past. And really that was built on the 5 goals are qualify for the playoffs, win the district championship, be the city district champs, see the city champs, regional champs, go to state. That's it. So every year that's our goal. And obviously those are lofty goals. Everybody says, we want to go to state. But if, you got to be able to do what it takes to get there, and you got to be able to do the preparation to get the end result. And I think our kids kind of understand that. And we made the state game in 2013. So we've been there, and we're trying to get back. And at the end of the day, you got to play great football. You got to be a great team. You got to have a little bit of luck, and you got to stay healthy. So if we can do all those things and put all that together, and again, play tough schedules and play great teams and prepare ourselves, to the ultimate prior to the start of the playoffs is going to give us the best chance to be successful in the playoffs. And, at the end of the day, everybody wants to get there and whatnot, but we've kind of established that, standard and again, those goals year in, year out. And so that's what we're always aiming for and shooting for. And it's just a matter of how far can we climb that ladder with the ultimate goal of, getting state and winning state. And hopefully we'll get there again. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that's really impressive, reaching the state game in your 3rd year as a varsity program. So talk about some of the key contributors for this group that you think can, I mean, last year y'all reached round 3. That's still nothing to sneeze at. So in order to see that goal come to fruition, who are some of the high caliber players on your roster that you think can help to guide them or facilitate that process?
Right. I mean, obviously you got to start off with just playing great in all 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams. But then there's obviously going to be some kids that probably get the ball more on offense, or we try to keep free from being blocked on defense, or whatever the case may be, to make plays. But, offensively, our playmakers are really, we feel good about a lot of them. Probably our running back is our most dynamic and explosive guy, Mekhi Thompson. We got another one named Malik White. And really they're kind of a 1-2 punch. I like to call them, Thunder and Lightning. Thunder's been a little gimpy at the start of the season, so he's been a game-to-game basis. But he had a great week last week. He felt pretty good and was able to play the whole game, which is a super bonus for us, because obviously it's better to have a 1-2 punch than just one haymaker. But those 2 guys, really were able to come out and perform. And our quarterback can, run the offense very well, Caden Glass, and he throws it well. He runs it well. We got a couple of receivers, Melvin Kahn and Donnie Lard, who can really make plays. So, and then of course the offensive line's got to block, and if we get our blocks and execute at a high level, which we were able to do last week, and was really pleased with, and we were able to, kind of get first downs when we had to and grind the ball out and yet still be explosive, and get some explosive plays. So that combination is very good, because again, you can use clock, you can wear out their defense, you can rest your defense, and then you're making big plays, for touchdowns or whatever that, obviously score points is what you got to do. And then defensively, we really stop the run, and we always want to stop the run. I think that's where it starts. And then, you got to be shored up against the pass, but obviously you can do more fun things when you get offenses in predictable situations and downs and distances, so on and so forth. But, our D-line is the heart and soul of our team. We got 3 seniors up front, Dylan Chapman and Susan McCullough are ends, and they're very dynamic guys. They can play the run, they can play the pass. They're very complete players, and they've been making a lot of plays for us. And then the interiors, Dylan Oblos and Day Tollfree, and they really kind of hold down the middle. Dylan Oblos, team captain, been playing since he was a freshman. This is his 4th year of varsity, 3rd year letterman. So he really kind of is the rock of the defense, and it all starts up front. But we feel good about our linebackers, feel good about our secondary. We got a lot of team speed, and we're just trying to take advantage of being a very fast, quick, intelligent defense, swarming to the ball, try to create, takeaways. And if those D linemen can make things happen, and, Jakari and Gage are two linebackers that really can play the game well and understand the game. And Tristan's probably our best safety, Tristan Escobar. Big hitters, got a lot of range, kind of a ball hog dude, can strip it, gets a lot of picks. So those are kind of the key guys on our team. But at the end of the day, anybody can make a play, and we want them all to be able to step up and do that. And, those guys have all had a big contribution in the last couple of weeks, and especially going to Ranger Stadium and then winning last weekend at Smith Valley.
It always baffles me how coaches can rattle off names just like that. Whenever I first started this job, it took me a while to kind of get trying to think of the word, my codex of names after a while. Cause now I can name some of the best football players in the Houston area, but it took time to get that. And I think,
Right.
Obviously you got to be familiar with these kids. You got to learn them individually. And I think that's one of the best things about coaching is you learn how to interact with different types of people, different creeds, different backgrounds. But yes, that sounds like you got plenty of talent whenever it comes to that, plenty of dependable pieces. And I'm sure that's going to start coming to light once you start making your way through district through the coming weeks. Anyways, thank you so much for your time, Coach. We're really excited to see what Brennan's all about this coming season. And really rooting for y'all.
All right. Well, sounds good. Appreciate your time and appreciate everything you guys do for high school athletics.
Absolutely. This has been Matt Ogle and Stephen Basore with Brennan Football. Watch out for them as they prepare. They're intimidating. All right. So this has been the VYPE Coaches Corner, and we will see you next time.
Thanks a lot, guys.